Hey, how's it going there, YouTube? It's me, Leonhardt here, of course, back again with another deck profile for you all. As you may all have known, today is Friday, which means it is also Fallback Friday. And today I wanted to go over a special deck for you all. I've been waiting to get this deck out of my out into YouTube for a while, and especially for a Fallback Friday, which you guys might want to make because of there's new support reprints, of course, and that deck is no other than Stern Blaukluger, the Blau ride chain for Nova Grappler. Uh, it inspired me to make this deck simply because it was a mecha, and I love mecha-based anime. Anything mecha-based, robots are awesome. And also because the German side of my family really kind of reached out to me, and I thought, I'll give this thing a try. So, without further ado, let's get into this deck profile for you all. We're going to start off with the grade 3s, of course, and the first is Stern Blaukluger, the grade 3 of the ride chain. It's beautiful, mesmerizing triple rare. Anyway, its skill is, if you have Blaukluger in the soul, it gets plus 1,000. It's constant, so it's a ride chain, of course. And 2, counter plus 2, discard 2 Nova Grappler from your hand. When this attack hits the Vanguard, you can stand all units in this column. So if you attack with the Vanguard and if you're being boosted by a unit and you already paid the cost, you stand the entire column. And standing the entire column actually benefits another unit in the deck, and I'll get to that as soon as I get there. But yeah, that's it for this grade 3 here. Next for the grade 3s, I play 2, Moai the Great. Now this is for Fallback Friday, of course, which means this is from a much older format, back in the day when 10k Vanguards were the thing. So pop a 8k behind this card, you attack for 20, so it's a great 15k bait out of the opponent when you're attacking their Vanguard. Applied a lot of pressure back in the day. But the reason as to why I only play 2 is because I had to make room for another card. And that was Muscle Hercules. It's your Claydol Mechanic and Hungry Dumpty clone. It's a grade 3. When it's placed on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, you unflip a point of damage. Because this deck is quite counterblast heavy when you utilize your Stern Blaukluger skill, which I did a lot back in the day. And I still found it useful. If you choose not to play these, you can of course play a Sura Kaiser. But the reason as to why I don't play a Sura Kaiser is because I always had Stern on my Vanguard Circle. And even if there might have been a chance for me to get a Sura Kaiser, I always had the Blau Panzer, I think it's Blau Panzer in my hand. So I would play it on Rearguard Circle, drop the Asura to get a Stern. So I found that these two Rearguard grade 3s to be a little more useful. Alright, now let's move on to the grade 2s. I play 4, Blaukluger, the grade 2 of the ride chain, and its beautiful double art glory. The reason as to why I don't play 2, or not even 3, is because if you don't get the grade 1, you don't automatically get to search for the grade 2, so I like playing 4 copies just for consistency. So if the off chance that I do not hit the ride chain off successfully, at least I'd want a grade 2 to ride, and I'd want it to be Blaukluger. Next, I play 4, Eisenkugel. I was playing 10k Vanillas, and even Brutal Jack, but I found that this card was a little more useful because if you put an 8k behind it, it hits for 20 again, so it's another Moai the Great. This is your original 12k attacker. You need to have Stern Blaukluger or Blaukluger in your Vanguard Circle for it to attack for 12, and it's a 10k base, which makes it even more devastating to guard for. Well, it's good for you, but it's bad for your opponent because you don't need to drop so much when it's 9k. But the only downside is if you do not have any of these two on your Vanguard Circle, he's -5 permanently. So yeah, that's the only downfall. But then again, I've never really had times where I did not have Stern. There's one time I did not have Blaukluger. I did not get any part of the ride chain except for Stern from post mulligan, so that was a bit of an issue early game, but so I couldn't play this card. But yeah, he's definitely a beater, and he's classic. If you wanted to play a card other than him just for consistency, you can play Brutal Jack or 10k Vanillas. Alright, let's put this here. Finally, for the grade 3s, I played, now because the deck is pretty aggro on the offense and applies a lot of pressure, you need some sort of defense. So I played 3 MGM Prototype. I did play Magical Girl Kirara before this, but the only issue was that it never hit. My opponent was always too smart, and the discard cost is well known for Stern. So you'd want that extra draw power for discard cost and all sorts of things. And drawing is just an easy plus. It never went through, and so I always ticked it in an MGM prototype or two, and it worked so well that I bumped it up to 3. This deck is lackluster when it comes down to defense, especially when you utilize your Stern, because you're discarding 2 but only drive checking 1 extra card. So unless you get a draw trigger in that 1 drive check, then I guess you're somewhat okay depending on what you draw also. So for extra pressure and defense on the field, I played 3 MGM prototype, and it was always something that gets sniped off by the opponent. Even the Vanguard would attack it if I'm playing against Dragonic Overlord at the end, of course, so it was a nice tech to play, and I'll always continue to play it. If you want to take this card out, you can definitely take it out for Magical Girl Kirara, Death Lady, Death Army Lady, other support that you might like, but I just find this to be a little bit more balanced to the other parts of the deck. Now let's move on to the grade 1s. I play 4. Blaukluger, of course. It's the grade 1 of the Ride Chain, must play. Its skill is not only do you, actually no, it's only 1 skill really. Well, if you have a Blaukluger, the grade 0, in your soul, he gets plus 2,000 power, because he's only 6k. These types of Ride Chains are always awkward. And when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, you choose a grade 3 Nova Grappler from your hand and discard it. And you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for a Stern, add it straight to your hand. And it happened a lot. So, never really had an issue with writing these. I probably won't mind writing a Muscle Hercules, but it really wouldn't do anything anyway. Alright, next, 4, played on Mechanic. This is basically Muscle Hercules. You don't unflip a point of damage. 4 Perfect Guard, of course. I don't have my Twin Blader, so I can't show you guys a more classic Perfect Guard, because I got rid of them such a long time ago. So when I heard that there's a new set and they have Blau Perfect Guards, I just had to get my hands on them. So 4 Perfect Guard. And of course, one of the best original combo cards, Dancing Wolf. During your battle phase, when this unit becomes stand, it gets plus 3,000 power. So of course, this would be your ideal grade 1 behind your Stern. So when you stand the column, let's say you'd start off the attack with 18, and you stand the column, and it's 21, 26, 31, depending on your drive, your twin drive. Excellent card. Let's see, this right here. Now let's move on to the triggers. I play 4. Red Lightning, just to be safe when it comes down to unflipping damage. Play 4 Scone's Wetter, so 8 crit in total. Play 4 Schnee Reagan, draw trigger. Sorry about the little glare here, that's lighting in my room. And of course there's 4 Regan Bogan, I'm not sure, it's the heal trigger. Okay. And of course the starter is Blaukluger, the starter in the Vanguard. And that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. I hope y'all enjoy. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful Fallback Friday. If y'all have games and tournaments tonight, wish you all the best of luck. And I'll see you guys later. This is Leonhardt out. Peace.